Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk About. And in this episode we're talking about SCP-006 or the Fountain of Youth. Object class is safe, meaning it doesn't really pose any threat to humanity and it's pretty well contained. And there's also a picture for this, which also looks like this. It just kind of looks like a river. That's about it. The Fountain of Youth is a pretty famous, mystery, sailors back in the day would try and find the Fountain of Youth to gain immortality. It was also something in the fourth Pirates of the Caribbean movie, but that's not really what this is. This is the SCP version of the Fountain of Youth, meaning, in this universe, it exists. Before the video starts, I just want to say thank you so much for the recent support the channel is getting. Leave a like and subscribe if you liked the video. And yeah, without further ado, let us begin. Special containment procedures are: whereas the nature of SCP-006 does not warrant any extensive containment, a certain level of secrecy is necessary regarding the object's existence and properties, for obvious reasons. The following procedures are required not for personal safety, but to deny or hide knowledge of SCP-006's effects from the personnel who interact with it. So instead of this being something for containment, it's about hiding it. Meaning it poses zero threat, but the O5 want to hide it from their people. Which I don't know how that sits with you, but with me, doesn't sit very well. The first procedure, there are four. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, number 1. All personnel interacting with SCP-006 in any physical way are required to wear modified Class 6 B and C suits. Before personnel are allowed to perform procedures, they must be briefed with material SCP-006-B or SCP-006-C. SCP-006-A briefing is the correct one, and is restricted to only those with O5 clearance. This is to ensure personnel are wearing suits properly. They are to be submerged in a pool of water. Any personnel who are seen to have bubbles spotted signifies there is a leak in the suit. So what that says to me is that there are the three briefings, right? It said there's A, B, and C. A is the correct one, but they only show B and C to any researchers or personnel. A is the correct one and is restricted to only O5 Council. That doesn't sit right with me, because that makes me feel like the O5 are using this to keep themselves immortal. And they're saying it to everyone else that it's a fake, so that they don't realize what they're actually watching or researching. Now, I don't know how well that would go if that got out, but the O5 are very greedy. And the fact that they would hide this from their researchers just proves that. Number 2. Procedures with SCP-006 are to be carried out under extreme surveillance. In case of contact with SCP-006, the commander in charge will announce Procedure 006-XI-12, which the personnel have been briefed to believe to mean high toxicity is present and they must evacuate. So they even have a way of evacuating even the fake one. They're really fueling the lie. Number 3. Any procedure in which liquid is acquired from SCP-006 must be approved by 3 O5 level personnel. The liquid is to be transferred in a quad sealant container and under armed guard. I mean, I can understand that. If that got out, a random person who would ever find it would become immortal. You can't really have that. Number 4. If at any time personnel come into contact with SCP-006 or liquid from SCP-006, they are to be confined and terminated after sufficient studies are done. Due to the nature of SCP-006, the most effective termination method is incineration. Oh my god. Okay, so wait. Are you telling me the O5 kill anyone that comes into contact with the fountain that isn't them? That's terrible. Why would you do that? They're trying to research for you, so they touch it, so you just kill them? You incinerate them, too. That's all the containment procedures. Next is the description. Though before I get into the description, I want to just run through the containment procedures. There's fake briefings. Only the O5 are allowed the real briefings. In order to hold the lie, they have a fake procedure to signal high toxicity that doesn't exist. Any personnel who acquire a liquid must have it sealed and sent to O5 personnel. They're not even allowed to touch it, and if they do touch it, they get incinerated. That's it. That's just the O5 way. The O5 kills whoever in God's name they please. The O5 are very deadly. They want what they want, and they will not stop till they get it. In any case, the description. SCP-006 is a very small spring located 60 kilometers west of Astrakhan. Foundation Command was aware of its existence since the 19th century, but were unable to secure it until 1991 due to political reasons. On the spot of the spring, a chemical factory has been constructed as a disguise, with the majority of laborers under Foundation and/or Russian control. The liquid emitted from the spring has been chemically identified as simple mineral water in 1902, but has the unusual property of health. So it's a spring in whatever place Astrakhan is, but assuming that it mentioned Russian control, I assume that means it's in Russia. Foundational Command has a fake chemical factory with fake laborers to give this illusion. The O5 are going really far out of their way to make sure this thing stays hidden. I can't process why the Foundation is so adamant on making sure the spring, that is the Fountain of Youth, stays hidden, other than the fact they want it just for themselves. Granted, I fully understand the fact that you can't let just regular people into it. You can't just have immortal people. That's not really something you can do. Death is a constant. There shouldn't be a way to avoid it. But the O5 are avoiding it for themselves. But I can also understand why they wouldn't want to give it to regular people, because that would just spark a lot of infighting. Because people want it and they want to sell it, but you can't do that. You cannot sell life. You can't buy time. But this SCP makes it so the O5 have as much time as they want. The last paragraph of the article. Yes, the last one. This is a very small article. Ingesting the liquid produces the following properties in human beings. The ability to regenerate DNA damaged by sufficient duplication. Heightened excitement of cellular duplication. Vastly improved abilities in the repair of damaged tissue, and a frightening increase in the effectiveness of the human immune system. Upon testing the liquid on animal subjects, hostile bacteria and viral agents were destroyed immediately. Many reptiles and birds were unaffected, while higher primates experienced the same benefits as humans. And that's the whole article. It's a small one, but the Fountain of Youth is a very interesting thing, and that's why I wanted to go over this one. Now, the effects it gives, it doesn't just give, like, eternal life. It doesn't just simple it down to that. It regenerates DNA damaged by significant duplication. So, like, cancer cells. It's like a cure for cancer. It makes it so cellular duplication is faster. It improves abilities in the repair of damaged tissue. So, like, you can heal from, like, a broken bone or strained muscle instantly, practically. And the effectiveness of the human immune system, meaning sickness doesn't happen anymore. So it kind of makes it so you can't physically die from regular things like old age, because your cells will grow at a more healthy rate. However, incineration works, and that's probably because if you really think about it, the cells are going to have a hard time growing back if they're all burned to oblivion. In terms of animal subjects, it doesn't really give the same benefits. It only kills hostile bacteria and viral agents, so it just kind of cures them of any sickness. Higher primates, like I imagine monkeys, would have the same benefits as a human because they are technically related in some way. But that's what the fountain does. It just heals. And that's about it. I wasn't expecting this to be such a short article, but, it gave a lot of information with how short it was. I feel like this article was more about exposing the O5 than it was telling us about the Fountain of Youth. Because the O5 Council are using this to fuel their own agenda and stay alive. But they don't want to give it to other people, because then that would cause a lot of problems with the human race. But also, if they give it to another researcher, they have to kill them. For reasons like they just want to be the only ones to live to the end, I guess. But you shouldn't. No one should have eternal life. No one, because that is more of a burden than anything. If you really think about it, would you be happy with eternal life? I don't think so. I don't think anyone would. Because, look, eternal life is great. You get to live, maybe without sickness, as this is suggesting. But imagine all your loved ones dying around you. Any relationship or friendship you have would eventually end, and you'd just be stuck. The heat death of the universe, and you would be stuck. Well, I guess not then, because you'd be incinerated. But you'd live through a lot of human history, and you wouldn't be able to save anyone with you unless you showed them the fountain. But the O5 won't let you. Maybe it's a mercy that the O5 doesn't let anyone in it because eternal life is so damning, but I think the O5 are just greedy. They are just doing this to make sure they can live forever because they are afraid of death. And that's why the Foundation exists. They want to contain the stuff to save humanity and also save themselves. But this makes it so they can live basically forever. And that I don't agree with. But that being said, I'm going to leave this video here. Thank you all so much for watching. Again, if you liked the video, please leave a like and subscribe, as that helps boost the channel. Leave a comment on other things you'd like me to talk about. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye!